percent for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed. And once you get the support, your energy will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Inside Nigeria. My name is Bode Gbadebo. As usual, with me in the studio this morning is our regular Wednesday analyst, Jide Ojo. Jide Ojo is an Abuja-based public affairs analyst and a TV host. Welcome, Mr. Jide.
It's a pleasure.
It's another Wednesday. The day is good, the day is bright.
It's not as wet as in the previous days of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, thank God.
Viewers, we shall take you through what the front pages are saying and as well have a discussion about the trending story of the day. Now we're starting with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, The Leadership. On the front page of Leadership this morning, as reconciliation process drags, Wike hits PDP again, says party throwing part of failure. As reconciliation process drags, Wike hits PDP again, says party throwing part of failure. Warns against Abuja politicians' polarizing party, asks Atiku to scrutinize supporters' electoral value. Nigerians are getting tired of the situation, according to Sam Ohabunwa. Of course, the last rider to this story says Shekara set to abandon Kwankwaso's NNPP to meet Tinubu. I don't know whether we should start with this last rider. What manner of politician do we actually have, And I don't know whether this is even possible because Senator Ibrahim Shekara, former governor of Kano State, former minister of education, has a ticket on the platform of NNPP to contest for the Kano Central senatorial election. So I don't know if it's possible for him to jump ship and still contest for the 2023 general election.
Well, the Nigerian politicians have not ceased to amaze me with their jumpology. The grass is always greener from the other side, at the other side, until when you get there. They thought, I think it was APC, they were all there with the governor of Kano State. That's
Senator.
No, he's not a senator.
Former governor of Kano State.
The current governor of
Abdullahi
Ganduje.
Okay.
They were there with Ganduje, then the party became polarized, became factionalized. Kwakwanso left, and Shekara also jumped ship. Now, it is all about ticket hunting. He got the ticket, but he could have well believed that this ticket is not taking him anywhere. He possibly have weighed his options and felt that he needs to retrace his step back to APC. But let's deal with the main issue, which is Wike eating PDP again.
Yeah, the main story.
The main story. I think a tree does not make a forest. Yes, you cannot. This issue of Wike demanding, exerting promises
And talking
and
at every given opportunity.
Eating PDP, he has made himself look like he's bigger than the party. And I think, for whatever it's worth, I think it's high time PDP calls the bluff of the governor of Rivers State. All said and done, only Wike cannot deliver Rivers State to PDP.
Even as an incumbent governor.
As an incumbent governor. And we have said that before. No matter how popular you think you are, there are always enemies within. So if Governor Wike feels without him, PDP will not move, I think they are just overhyping him. And I think if the terms and conditions of reconciliation is such that he will see himself as the supremo of the PDP, then PDP needs to be very careful the kind of sacrifice they make to Wike, because others will come with their own demands.
Exactly.
And that means once you give in to one, you have to give in to all. There are about 14 or 15 governors of PDP they have just won Osun
Exactly.
to their fold. And APC has 22 before, now it's reduced to 21.
They've been defecting.
So what I'm saying is that they should be very mindful of the kind of sacrifice they make to keep Wike in PDP. Because, Wike may not defect, but he may
rock the boat.
He may undermine the success of even. How will you say Atiku should scrutinize his supporters? On what basis will he be able to do that?
People claiming to be supporters do not have electoral value. Wike is the one with electoral value.
Is it the only one with electoral value?
And will he win for Atiku in Sokoto?
Exactly. That's what we should be talking about. Atiku had 11 million votes in 2019. I don't know what proportion of that belongs to Rivers. I'm not sure if Rivers was able to give up to 2 million of that vote to Atiku. So what I'm saying invariably is that I'm not saying it should not be pacified, but they should be very mindful the kind of promises, the kind of reconciliation terms and conditions that they agree with the Rivers State governor. Otherwise, if Autumn comes with his own demand, Bala Mohammed comes with his own demand, Tambuwa comes with his own demand,
because of the party.
or because Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi comes with his own demand, and Okowa comes with his own demand, how would you pacify all of them? I think, there are, with or without Governor Wike, the party would do well in Rivers because they have the structure.
A lot of people don't believe that. Say, oh no, Wike was one that was funding the party when many of them left after PDP lost election 2015. Atiku left. Wike was the one. He was spending his money.
I'm not against that it should be. I'm saying it should, the reconciliation team should be mindful. Now, is demanding for Ayu's resignation, is demanding that Atiku should not do more than one term.
What kind of power does he have to do
that's that? What I learned is demanding. And when you now say, okay, one individual, a tree does not make a forest.
He's overreaching himself.
He's overreaching himself. Will he win for Atiku in Adamawa, for instance?
Imagine.
In Sokoto, in Delta, in Enugu,
in Abia. Some people are also fueling this crisis. Every now and then you see some two governors. My own state governor, Seyi Makinde, Abia governor, Ikpeazu, they always be with Ike holding meetings. So the man has this belief or syndrome that, yes, I have people behind me. Why should a governor follow a fellow governor like boys, And they make it look as if Wike is having his own court.
Of course he does, and it's not even unknown to politics for you to have your own following. But like Samuel Abuwa said, Nigerians are getting tired of this headline grabbing. In the last couple of weeks, it's been Wike. As if with or without Wike, that PDP would disintegrate. I don't believe so. Everybody has got their own electoral value. Even if it's 20 people you can get to vote for the party, that's an electoral value. Yes, I know he has the funds. He can bankroll. He has boasted that in 2019, the logistics he provided for PDP is one of the highest and all of that. But that's not to say can't Bayelsa governor also do same? Can't Okowa, can't Cross River?
Exactly. Even Akwa Ibom.
Exactly. Also, Akwa Ibom even has more resources than Rivers in terms of after winning those 17 or is it 17 or 14?
Rivers is doing well in the area of IGR.
IGR, yes,
a lot of multinational.
But in fact, if you go to Akwa Ibom today, you also see a lot of improvement.
Exactly, not that they don't shout about it. A lot of good roads, road everywhere.
Yeah, so I was in New York not too long ago. So by and large, what I'm saying is that yes, everybody has got their own value, but they should not feed one person and accede to his demand as if with or without it. I like the way Okowa has gone about it quietly. He's not joining issue with anybody, whether you agree with it, whether you are against it.
And I keep asking questions. Was Wike cheated out in the primary election? No.
It was not. It was transparent.
We all saw it. They said
it's the entitlement
Tambuwa
mentality.
stepped down at the wrong time. What does that have to do with the election? I don't know.
You know,
He didn't step down before the commencement of voting.
And the
But
party,
after voting, he stepped down before voting.
The party, even if Tambuwa hasn't stepped down, it doesn't mean Wike will
Atiku
win.
was primed to win. Yes.
Yeah,
all
Atiku
the
was
network,
primed
everything. Even with one vote.
With Sokoto's vote going to Wike, Atiku will still have won.
Exactly.
The margin
over 100 votes.
The margin is what should have shot it. So I think the PDP needs to be very careful. Yes, reconciliation, no doubt, is very important, but it cannot be on its own terms and conditions alone. It's millions of people belongs to the PDP, you should not dance to.
And there is one thing about the governor. He keeps saying there are a lot of fake news about him. People are bad-mouthing him in Abuja. But in the last 1 week or so, at every given opportunity during project inauguration in Port Harcourt, he will talk about Atiku and PDP. And he actually is inaugurating project. Even where APC members are being invited to inaugurate project, he will talk about PDP and Atiku. Right? You will still have the story on another paper we're going to move to now. That's the Punch newspaper. That's the second paper on our menu this morning. On the front page of the Punch this morning, PDP crisis, Atiku, Wike's men hold peace talks on Friday. PDP crisis, Atiku, Wike's men hold peace talks on Friday. A party that wants to win election cannot be involved in infighting, according to the Rivers State governor. Atiku's camp wants meeting to hold in Abuja. Fintiri leads delegation, says sources. If I were Atiku, I would take next flight to Port Harcourt and close this chapter, according to Sam Ohabunwa, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party and also a presidential aspirant in the just concluded primary election. Most Atiku, I don't know, maybe because I'm not a politician, I'm a media practitioner. Should Atiku go and prostrate for Wike? I don't get this. What is the issue? We are not getting this. Look at the last rider too. If I were Atiku, I would take the next flight to Port Harcourt and close this chapter.
So the chapter is Atiku should go and plead, and this is how it happens. Obasanjo have never really gotten over the fact that he begged Atiku to get it in 2002.
Ahead of the
2003 election. And that is a big minus for there is a saying in my part of the world that you cannot say because you want to eat a cow meat, you now prostrate for the animal itself. I think we need to be very careful. Fintiri is as good. He's the governor of Adamawa State. He's the one leading the charge to reconcile, and it is everywhere that is done. There will be an advanced team. You meet with them. I think it's just like asking president, because this is a former number 2. It's like asking President Buhari to go to every meeting and prostrate, like go and beg Asu. Okay, he's been begging Asu, but we want to see him physically to come and tell us to our faces. It doesn't. It derogates. It dishonors the person. So I feel that. Governor Fintiri is as good in reconciling. I hope they are reconciled eventually, because Wike is not the only one in PDP. And if you give in too much to him,
others are likely.
Others will. So there is no way you can reconcile everybody. And I tell you, Gbadebo, the most wicked people in the world are enemies within. They will not leave. They will not leave. Look, who are the people that was responsible for the downfall of Jonathan? They are not those who left. Those who left, you already know that they are your enemies.
Those who stayed
behind in PDP but were working for APC are the ones that were his undoing. So I just hope the media will stop giving undue attention to this. It has it has dominated the media even more than insecurity and the rising cost of living and all of that.
Yeah,
and
and I like what you just said, undue attention.
Undue attention is
Media
being
giving
given to
undue
this.
attention.
Let them sort. It's an internal affair of a party, and I don't think it should be grabbing the headlines. That's my own honest opinion. It should not be grabbing. There are more issues. For instance, issue of census 2023 April. How much are we engaging that issue, interrogating that issue?
After
the issue of election.
the national stakeholders,
Yes, the national summit that took place last Thursday. What is the media agenda for that? That should the rising cost of living should take a center stage. The issue of security should take center stage. The issue of corruption,
which is the highest in the last 17 years.
Yes, exactly. Inflation being at its peak in the last 17 years. Those are the kind of issues that dominate. Because whether we can Atiku reconcile, it doesn't put food on my table. It's them. It's the reconcile, and just imagine if Shekara today is obnobbing with Governor Ganduje, fell out, went and obnobbed with Kwakwanso. Now he's thinking of leaving PP. So and we have had Atiku come from PDP to AC, from AC went back to PDP, from PDP came back to APC, from APC went back to.
So the show is about him. It's not about
it's
the people.
all about it's about themselves, a personal aggrandizement. The same thing with Dogara, the same thing with even Tambua. We have seen them come go. It's just about where their bread would be most butter. So that should not dominate the governance issues. This has nothing to do with governance. It has to do with elections. And I think we should focus on governance now. Election campaigns have not started. This is an internal affairs of PDP. PDP is not even the ruling party in Nigeria. So why are we giving it undue attention?
All right. And I hope you won't be surprised again that our third newspaper will also be about Wiki. Talking about undue.
And I remember, I remember that it was same during Fayose, when Fayose was ending his second tenure. It was all over the news. Fayose said this against Buhari. Fayose called Buhari this. Fayose is fine. These are just personality clashes that should not engage our interest as much. I'm not saying that for me, whether PDP wins, AP wins, or APC wins, or Labour, what I want is my own betterment of my own life and that of my household. That is more important to me, security and my welfare, than all this. This is not about governance. That is my own issue with these headlines and giving undue attention to Wiki and article.
All right. Whether undue attention or not, we still have to see what the papers are saying. And it's still about Wiki. Let's go to the third newspaper on our menu this morning. That is the Nation News. The Nation newspaper on the front page of the Nation this morning. 2023, disquiet in PDP as Obi meets Wiki, autumn, others. 2023, disquiet in PDP as Obi meets Wiki, autumn, others. Party on self-destructive path, says Rivers Governor. Ayu must go.
I've told you that.
Same story from different
angles.
Yeah.
He has been inviting all manner of people. Maybe Obi will commission 1 or 2 projects too, because it's not been star project. But you see, I would have been more interested in his achievements in office in the last 8 years. His commissioning project, which is good, is a very good thing to improve the infrastructure of the ones called Garden City, which has turned to Garbage City. But what doesn't sit well with me is this issue of politics dominating. Whether if he meets even local government chairman, it's a news. Why are we giving undue attention to Mr. Wiki? Why? He's not the president. The president is not even getting as much attention as Wiki is getting in the last 2 weeks.
There were more presidential aspirants in APC than PDP.
Exactly.
But none after the election has been given Tinubu. Are you aware of anybody
That's what.
making demands?
No.
Talking about dollarization of the exercise. Nobody has been talking.
You must go. Are you the only one that will exert that demand from? And now you have said, look, I will go, but not if Atiku wins, that's when you will say not. But in as far as Atiku has not won,
yeah,
it's not yet a domination of not as
power
as
in one
power
part of the
in
country.
one part of
You
the
know,
country.
but there is another angle to that story. Chief Olabode George, the chieftain of the party, a former deputy national chairman, South, said, IU actually promised that if a northerner emerged as the party's presidential candidate, he will quit.
Well,
so this argument now is not about whether Atiku has been elected as president or not.
Well,
so it will be IU's word against his. So we don't know whether IU promised that. But IU has come out to say, well, I'm not going anywhere. I have a 4-year tenure.
This is about gentleman's agreement. This is what usually happens. I recall that the face-off between Obasanjo and Atiku was also hinged on purported commitment to do one term by Obasanjo in 1999, that he was going to do one term and support his vice to succeed him. And when the time comes, he reneged. The same thing happened with Goodluck Jonathan, that Obasanjo said he told him personally that he was going to do one term, which is to complete the joint ticket of Yar'Adua and himself. But what did we see?
He tested the
power. He never wanted to leave, which is what led Obasanjo to ask somebody to tear his PDP ticket. And that's what Babangida Ali also told us, former governor of Niger State, that the Goodluck Jonathan promised to do one time. So what I'm saying, the inference I'm drawing from all of that is that politicians, when they make a promise, you have to go. They campaign in promise, they campaign in prose and deliver in poetry. So, it's always like that with them. They will say one thing.
They campaign, I'm hearing this for the first time. They campaign in
prose
and
deliver
in poetry.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's the deceit of the highest order.
It's a deceit. When they will say, don't worry.
Students of literature will tell you that prose and poetry are not the same.
They always do that. So I'm not surprised that IU is reneging on this one. But they brought him in. He was made a consensus candidate.
I think he also made a mistake.
You see?
He made a mistake. The next day after the PDP presidential primary election, when I saw his photo and video visiting Tambuwa and describing him as the hero of the convention, I said, no. This is one step taken too far. It's wrong. Why will you go to Tambuwa's place? It will give impression that there was a pre-plan to actually orchestrated to edge out some people. Why will you go to Tambuwa's house and describe him as hero of the convention just for stepping down for one of the aspirants?
And I took
whom you are close to.
I even took exception to the way they handle their own internal. But that is for political analysis. I'm more interested in governance. See, whichever way, some people in social media will say, let APC and PDP continue to have their disquiet so that Labour will win. It does happen, but election is holding in about 6-7 months' time.
Yeah.
A lot can still happen within that.
In fact, they say 24 hours is a long time in politics.
It's a very long time in politics because even the decision reached a week ago can still change on the morning of the event. So I believe that these parties will overcome whatever challenges they have. Internal wranglings.
Do you notice something? Atiku silence, not joining issues with Wiki.
It's deliberate, and I think it's
political maturity.
It's political maturity. Don't forget, Waziri Adamawa is a veteran.
He's a veteran.
He's liking to. It's like Odinga.
Okay, Raila Odinga in Kenya.
This is Atiku's 6th attempt.
Raila,
it was his 5th that he lost out. So Atiku is just trying to do everything not to allow L to break loose because he needs everybody on board. He knows if he misses it this time around, that is
even the other man on the other side of the divide. Tinubu knows that there won't be a second chance.
There won't be a second chance for them. And then, again, let's let the campaign begins, and we can talk about.
I think campaign, we should be talking campaign
next
in the
month.
next 2 weeks or so.
Next month in
Uh-huh.
September.
September.
That's when campaign will officially start. But all of this, I think, media gatekeepers like you should just talk to your editorial board to play down this issue of wiki
and Atiku matter.
Let's just
there somebody, there's another PDP stakeholder waiting for us. Let me hear from him whether it is true we are giving Wiki and Atiku too much attention or not, or what are even the issue as a stakeholder and insider. We're being joined live by Dr. Chidi Leot, Chairman MO, our local government area of River State. He joined us live from Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Good morning, Dr. Leot. I don't know if the connection is still good. Now we need to go to the last paper on our menu this morning, and that is the THISDAY newspaper. On the front page of THISDAY has deviated from our article, our wiki, so you won't be surprised. So it's about security, is it security or politics in another gap? How Dambazo resisted pressure to topple Jonathan, according to a former spokesperson of the Nigerian Army, retired Brigadier General Usman Kuka Sheka, is now praising his former boss, the former chief of army staff, and the former minister of Interior, General Abdurrahman Dambazo, how he resisted pressure to topple Jonathan. Says he made promise to international community in wounds. Ex-army chief proposes drastic reform of entire security sector, declares size of military police inadequate for Nigeria's population. Bruni cautions against hate speech, says nation interest uppermost. These are portfolio of stories, and they are coming from the annual Blueprint newspaper annual award and lecture series yesterday in Abuja. How Dambazo resisted pressure to topple Jonathan. I don't know whether he has done a good thing or not, because as an army officer, you swore to an oath to defend constitutional democracy authority. So I don't know whether he is a pass mark or not. But let me hear from you.
Well, I don't really know. This is an insider story. So there was a planned coup or attempted coup, and that's mutiny, and that's very it's against military ethics.
And the person revealing this for God deliberately didn't tell us why Dambazo, as the chief of army staff, we actually organized the return of another president when we have an acting president, Jonathan. We need to hold on. Dr. Chidi Leot is here with us. Good morning, Dr. Chidi Leot.
Good morning, my brother. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, sir. All right, we are being joined live by Dr. Chidi Leot, Chairman, MOHA local government area of River State. Doctor, you're just joining us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're just joining us. Let me show you what the papers are saying this morning about your governor. On the front page of Leadership, it's about Wike. On the front page of the Punch, it's about Wike. And on the front page of the Nation newspaper we discussed this morning, is about Wike. I expect my technical people to be showing you as I'm talking. Now, Dr. Chidi Leot, what are the real issues? Why is your governor after the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar? Because at every given opportunity in River State in the last 1 week, the governor has been speaking about Atiku PDP. What are the real issues? I know you are an insider.
Well, first, let me thank you for the opportunity and to state that you are not totally correct when you assert that it's been about Wike since after the primaries. That is not exactly correct. What has happened is that we have a government.
Go ahead, sir. Hello, Dr. Chidi. All All right, we need to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be reconnected with Dr. Chidi Leo, Chairman of MOR Local Government Area of Rivers State. Don't go away.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Hello, welcome back. It's still Inside Nigeria for this Wednesday morning. We've been speaking with Dr. Chidi Leo, Chairman, MOR Local Government Area Council of Rivers State. Dr. Chidi, sorry for the hitch. We need to fix some technical challenges. Now, you can go on with your line of thought.
Yeah, so I was saying that it is not exactly correct that since after the PDP primaries, it's been about the governor of Rivers State. You recall that we went for the convention, finished, and came back. When we got back to Rivers State, the governor settled in for governance of Rivers State, which is the mandate that he had. And you recall that the governor, my governor too, had over the period been very quiet until some aides of the presidential candidate, including the presidential candidate himself, started making statements, provocative statements, and some of which bordered on the person of the governor of Rivers State, especially the one, the statement credited to Aliyu Babangida and former Governor Sule Lamido of Jigawa State. So those were statements that had direct impact on the governor. So he had to react. You also recall that a sister station of yours, Ruben Abati, had also made some uncanny statements about the governor. And all this elicited his reaction. So the governor has not been bothered. We have put the presidential primaries behind us. And of course, to buttress that point, for nearly 2 weeks now, it's been one commissioning or the other. So that is the thing, the unique thing about Governor Nyesom Wike. We have since put the presidential primaries behind us, and we are now focused on governance. Today we will be commissioning the remodeled Waterlines House. Yesterday we commissioned the protocol lounge of the Port Harcourt International Airport, which the governor donated to the airport authorities. So this is what we are doing here. It's about governance for the good of the people of Rivers State. We are not deterred by statements that just like the governor would describe them, rent seekers and the wannabes are making in Abuja.
One from you. Now,
Hello.
there is a problem. We are all aware. So what do you think can be done to
We are not
overcome this
aware.
challenge and PDP will come as one united family to
We are not
prosecute the
aware.
2023 general election? What do you think can be done?
For us in Rivers State, we are not aware that there is any problem. All we see is that we read on the pages, but my governor has been on the pages of national dailies for going to 2 months now. He's been consistently on the front page of nearly all national dailies. Not because of statements ascribed to him, but because of what naysayers think about the governor of Rivers State. And of course, nobody throws stones at a tree that does not bear fruit. Nobody throws stone at a tree that does not bear fruit. It was not the governor of Rivers State alone that contested the PDP primaries with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. But because he's the man to beat, of course, all those who talk about him, it's not misplaced. But what we are saying is that for those who want to be ministers, who want to be chairman of one commission or the other, who want to be ambassadors and so on, it is important that we win first. Let us win as a party before you begin to know those who will not be part of government and all that. But in my own opinion, I think that the former vice president has not also showing some genuine commitment to reconciliation, assuming but not conceding that there are issues.
All right, Doctor, you said the party's candidate is not showing enough commitment to reconciliation. Now, there are also insinuations that Governor Nyesom Wike may ditch the PDP for another political party, given the array of people that come around him every now and then. Just 2 days ago, I think last 2 nights, he met with the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, and he has been meeting with people, even inviting members of the APC to come and inaugurate projects executed by a PDP-led governor. So is it true that the governor is contemplating leaving the PDP?
Well, you can take it to the bank that no pastor, no clergy will abdicate his pulpit for anybody. No pastor abdicates his pulpit to people who just repented. Just like you said, it is an insinuation. The governor of Rivers State is a bona fide member of the People's Democratic Party, one of his very strong pillars. And we will not ditch the party for anybody. The governor of Rivers State stood tall when it mattered most to ensure that the PDP remained afloat. So we will not abdicate it for anybody. We will remain in the party and ensure that the party gets its electoral fortunes. However, I'd like to advise those who hang around the presidential candidate, including the national chairman, who also had not conducted himself properly since after the primaries, knowing that nerves may have been frayed because of the things that happened during and after the primaries, to have gone to visit another presidential aspirant and describe him as the hero of democracy. These are all things that are enough to provoke people. But my governor, being the man that he is, has put all that behind him and is looking forward to when the elections will come, so that all these persons who lost their senatorial tickets in their different states and are today masquerading as supporters of Atiku Abubakar, it is not enough to be in Abuja. Politics is local. Every politics is local. So we are in Rivers State with over 3.6 million votes, according to releases made by INEC. And whatever the governor tells us, we will do. And that is exactly what we will do. Fortunately, in Rivers State, there is no any other political party save for the PDP. And of course, the works of the governor is speaking volumes for us. So our electoral fortunes here for the People's Democratic Party is assured. So I pray that these persons for one position or the other in the coming administration should wait until we win the elections.
All right, Doctor, I'm almost winding down because I know you have a busy schedule. and you have a project lined up for commissioning today at the Port Harcourt International Airport, Omagua. Now, Dr. Leod, what are the chances of your party? Because there are people saying, well, PDP can win whether with Atiku or not. So what are the chances of your party in the 2023 general elections in Rivers and beyond Rivers?
Well, I would not speak beyond Rivers because I don't live anywhere else other than Rivers. In Rivers State, it is 100%. It is assured. It is as sure as life and death. There is no the duty. The what the governor has done in the state is enough testimony. Is enough testimonial for us to win any elections. All the seats of the federal of the state assembly, all the seats of the national assembly, including of course the governorship of Rivers State, and of course including the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so let nobody have any doubt as to the persons who come to visit the governor. The governor is the governor of Rivers State. He is governor for persons without minding which political party the person belongs to. People have accused him of lining up APC members for the commissioning. Yesterday, Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, was here. Today will be former Governor Idris of Kogi State, and so on. I don't know what else they will say today, but I know why everybody seems to talk about Governor Wike of Rivers State, because he's the man to watch.
Thanks to you, Dr. Chidi Leod, a former leader of the Rivers State House of Assembly and currently chairman MOA Local Government Council of Rivers State. Doctor, I hope to see more of you whenever the need arises.
The pleasure will be mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you. Dr. Chidi Leod is the chairman MOA Local Government Area of Rivers State. And you had for an insider what the issues are. But he said Wike is not leaving the PDP, and they are also open to reconciliation.
But he also blamed Atiku not handling the issue.
Very well, yes.
I don't know what he meant by that. Fintiri is meeting with them on Friday, and I admire what he said, which is in line with my own earlier position, that Wike should not be dominating news for just politicking.
Says the papers.
But
the governor is talking.
He's talking, but
today I know he will talk again.
Let's look at his projects. Let's examine what is the quality, standard, cost of those projects. That he built a house for former Rivers State Governor Peter Odili as a birthday gift for his 74th birthday gift. Is it a worthwhile investment? Is it something that is what?
It looks like someone wants to buy people's loyalty at all costs. You want people to be on his side, and you want them to be at his spec and call.
Well, that's part of what we should be examining.
I don't know if I'm correct.
It's personal. What makes him tick? I think we should play less on his politics. Wike's politics will always be there. Even after he leaves office, there are people like that are controversial in nature. We are not created same. We have different idiosyncrasies. And I think the Rivers State Governor has his own. But let's look at his achievements in office. This is the time to audit his 7.5 years in office, or 7 year plus in office, because I know by this time next year, it will be referred to as ex-governor Wike, just like we are talking of ex-governor Rotimi Amechi today. And interestingly, we are not hearing pink from Rotimi Amechi since he resigned and he lost in the presidential primary. What about that? I think media should go and dig him out and say, are you retiring
so quick?
So soon? Or what is next for you? I think that's that. But by and large, it's a worthy thing to bring Dr. Chidilo. He's a man Friday, he's a right-hand man to Governor Nyesom Wike. So it's good to hear from him, and let's just hope that this whole brouhaha within the PDP will be laid to rest in few days from now. I mean, we have serious governance issue. ASU and federal government fail to strike a deal. I mean, I was so optimistic. I was hoping that when I wake up this morning, it will be ASU call off strike, and so that the children who have been at home for months, 6 months plus, can be back to school. I hope to see a magic wand to solving our security challenge. I hope to see. Interestingly, maybe something for you, Ashwaju, is the fact that state houses of assembly are now voting on the constitutional amendment bills.
That's good.
I saw a picture of Osun State House of Assembly voting on those bills that were
sent to them by the National Assembly.
to them. But it's been like 2-3 months now, and if let's hope that the critical issues, particularly those bills that have to do with devolution of power, issue of independent candidacy, and a host of other issues that will impact positively on governance, will get at least the minimum threshold of 24 states to back it, including local government reform. Because all this weekend we are talking about
these are issues.
These are issues. Local government. Where is local government in Nigeria today? I went to a primary school that was established by local government, Ibadan City Council, ICC, later called Ibadan Municipal Municipal Government. That's the school I went for my primary education in Ibadan.
And for even people calling for restructuring, this is a restructuring.
Exactly. This is a restructuring. Yeah. Even there is a bill on state police sponsored by Ekweremadu that has scared the second reading, and these are issues that I think should dominate, because we cannot advocate governance for politics. It's not yet time for politicking. There are 5 months by which campaigns will be run, and we can examine and even have political debates. But right now, let's continue to hold our governors and our elected or political office holders. Let's continue to hold their feet to fire to tell us what their scorecard is as they are winding down, because it's not countdown. None of them has up to 365 days in office again. In fact, I think May 29th, this is August, middle of August, they have about 9 months, and they have approximately 9 months left in the office. So let's be doing the countdown on them, media scorecard. This is the time for NUJ to even go to those states and
find out what they have achieved
and see, and not just all those governance by billboards, the governance via media that we have been seeing. Let's go and see and assess those projects in their where they are cited, and see whether there is true value for money for having those. I'm all for infrastructural development, but beyond and above that, yesterday Blueprint had its annual lecture and award. What are the basis for selecting those awardees?
I saw someone on Facebook making a jest. I think the Minister of Interior, Ralph Aregbesola, was awarded Minister of the Year, and the person was
you see what I'm talking
when we
with all those Syria jail breaks.
And the person is a politician in Osun, so he wants to score a point,
Well, irrespective of wanting to score a point, I think there are those media awards that should just be very, very you need to really do your own work very well, so that it doesn't just come like a purchased, that's a purchased award. But what I'm saying, without unnecessary distractions, let's focus on governance. Good governance. Where can it be found? Is it in Rivers? If it's Rivers, then let's come out with a better scorecard beyond Wike and Atiku as like Dr. Chidiloy said. It has dominated the front pages in the last 2 months.
There is one of the awards. We're talking about these awards that happened yesterday. My founding chairman, late Simon Isaiah, was also honored at the Blueprint leadership.
And that's well deserved.
He was actually given a posthumous award for promoting democratic ideals using the media.
Yes.
I don't know if you are conversant with his column at the back page of Daily Trust and later Leadership for many years called The Last Word.
Yeah, The Last Word. Yeah, so I think that's well deserved. May God grant him eternal rest.
Amen.
So the issue is we should be mindful of the kind of people we give award. It should not just be award for award's sake. But more importantly is that I don't think media should abdicate the agenda of good governance. Let's continue to scrutinize even those who are coming from governor to senate. What are their achievements? Are they worthy of even becoming?
Or they just want to talk the Senate to a retirement home.
Those are the kind of issues we should. Enough of wiki article in the last 2 months. Because people are not even going to buy paper again. Once they see, okay, is it only
started?
Yes, is it?
But we have responsibility to inform the people.
No, but it can be in the news, but not on the front page. I'm not saying it should not be in the news. It can be in the news, but let's look at the issue of censors. Let's
we've been writing editorials on that.
Censors, issue of election itself, issue of what to expect,
agenda setting,
what should be looked at for campaigns. There is a lot of speeches being peddled. Someone wrote obituary, and the backlash of that and all of that. And
people were accusing the obedient supporters of being hateful. When somebody started, the professional journalist, the chairman of the editorial board of a national newspaper.
That's why I'm saying that the media needs to set the right agenda, and I believe that we'll be doing our reading public a better service through that.
Yeah, you can't say it'll be less. And many thanks to Jide Ojo, an Abuja-based public affairs analyst and a TV host. Maybe one day you should host me on your show too. I've been hosting you for a year.
No. Now you get just next week by God's
I need to take a pound of flesh.
I've
been hosting you for a year.
We will take
development focus.
We will be there, and then from there we will come over there. I'll take you up on that. No problem.
Many thanks to you viewers for being with us from the hours of 10 to this moment. Make it with us tomorrow for another edition of Inside Nigeria. My name remains Badibo. It's bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.